Hey, welcome back everyone. We are getting closer to the end of November of 2022, and with Star Wars Andor now coming to a close, a lot of fans are looking forward to other shows out there like Bad Batch 2, Mando Season 3, as well as the Ahsoka Tano series. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about, of course, the Star Wars universe and Indiana Jones 5, all of which are controlled by Lucasfilm, is that there is one thing in particular that Kathleen Kennedy is in control of, and we've talked about this several times, of how Kathleen Kennedy has full creative power over the Acolyte series, Skeleton Crew, and yes, Indiana Jones 5. Now, if you're a fan of Indiana Jones and Star Wars as much as I am, as well as a lot of people out there, they love the franchise, they love both franchises when it comes to what was created by George, Steven Spielberg, and other creators out there, and what's actually happening right now with Indy 5. Now, this actually pertains to both Indy 5 and two Star Wars projects related to Kathleen Kennedy, and why George Lucas has a problem with a lot of it. So let's dive right into this. Now, one thing that we do know is that Kathleen Kennedy has been a lot more vocal recently, not just about the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew, but also about Indiana Jones 5, and exactly what's been going on with the ending of that movie, and exactly how it's going to be pretty much a different focus than what's been done in the past 4 films. Now, with that being said and all, what's even all the more, intriguing about all of this is that with Kathleen Kennedy still having trouble with the Acolyte TV show, and Skeleton Crew with some of the most recent reshoots, she eventually got involved in an interview where she talked about the future of Indiana Jones 5, and her takes on the Star Wars universe as well. Now, Kathleen Kennedy went on to state the following to the fans: "What we have in store for the ending of the latest installment for Indiana Jones 5 is truly going to change this franchise. One thing that we wanted to steer clear from was anything related to George, since he at one point pitched us how the film should come to an end. What George wanted was for the ending to be centered around Indy and a send-off for the character, and what we wanted was to focus on the ending to revolve around one of the newer characters instead, which really frustrated George, and I just remember him being very upset about our direction with this movie. We are trying to expand beyond Indy as a character, and how this franchise could possibly stretch beyond a 5th film that would actually get rid of Indy, that could divert from Indiana himself." This is something that George was very angry about at the time when we talked to him about this, but we had to do what we had to do, and the same goes for the Acolyte series. We are diverting from George's vision for the Star Wars brand. It needs to be about new characters that hold no connection to what George made all those years ago. Now, let me just stop right here for a second. Now, for those of you that don't know, Indy 5 is being pretty much controlled now by Kathleen Kennedy, but also it is being created by James Mangold, the original guy that was supposedly involved in the Boba Fett movie, but then he actually came out on board and said that he was never involved. He was wanted for it, but he never was officially involved. So you can see why, Kathleen Kennedy brought him on board. She wanted him for the Boba Fett film. He didn't want it. He didn't really get all that much involved, and now he's involved with Indy 5. The thing that apparently George Lucas has an issue with, and what Kathleen Kennedy confirmed here, is how Indy 5 is not going to have an ending that serves as a send-off for Indiana himself. So basically the ending of Indiana 5 is all about focusing on one of the newer characters. Now, we have quite a number of newer characters coming into this movie, and exactly how they're going to be able to interact with that world. But what Kathleen Kennedy is confirming here is that George actually pitched a certain ending for Indiana Jones 5 that he wanted to actually make that happen. She wanted nothing to do with it. Now, moving on to what's been going on with the Acolyte, same exact scenario. You guys may recall that we talked about this, that the Acolyte originally was a show that was balanced between George Lucas's vision and Kathleen Kennedy's vision. Then she stabbed him in the back, essentially. She literally just disregarded all of his work and decided to do her own thing because she's got all the creative power. And there was a time when John and Dave tried to fix elements, and they even left because of the toxic environment. So, like I said, guys, let's just be real here. Do I think that Indy 5 is going to be a total failure? It really is up in the air at this point. You know, it could really go either way. It could be a film that just does okay, it could be a movie that's a total disaster. But judging by what Kathleen Kennedy is saying here about the ending, it sounds like that the ending is going to be something that is going to be controversial. Even George Lucas is very unhappy about that, and that's not a great sign. Now, on top of this, George, too, is very annoyed at us, she says. For our direction, we were set for the Acolyte. But that's how this industry works. As some franchises age, we need to evolve into something new in order to grow a new fan base for the better. It's not always about sticking to the classic characters, but with the Acolyte direction and the ending that we have for Indiana Jones and how it detaches from Indy himself is going to be quite remarkable. So, Kathleen Kennedy putting it out there that it's remarkable to focus away from Indiana Jones. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting a couple of vibes here that hopefully they don't pull a Han Solo situation on us in the Indiana Jones 5 film, like what they did in The Force Awakens, where they just killed him off in the first movie. This, of course, is just a one-off film as of right now, and Kathleen Kennedy speaks about the possibility of stretching out more movies and or more stories with the newer characters and focusing away from Indiana Jones 5. So, I'm all for characters coming back into these franchises, but when you look at someone like Indiana Jones, he's just as popular as Han Solo or other characters that, you know, Harrison Ford played before. But really, his two big roles, there's no denying the fact that his two biggest roles are Han Solo and Indiana Jones. And that's why a lot of fans have been, you know, very on edge about what they are about to do with Indiana himself. Now, back to the Acolyte. Alright, this is a show, by the way, that's going to take place during the High Republic era. It's going to diminish everything that you know about Star Wars. So, it's not going to really have those themes that you like. It's going to be something new, something fresh, pretty much taking away the vision of George Lucas and having nothing to do with all of that. So just be prepared for that with the Acolyte show. Kathleen Kennedy putting it out there, you know, once again, that what she wants to do is what she wants to do. You know, no ifs, ands, or buts. She's going to do what she has to do. And Indy 5, I will admit, I have been a little excited for it, but I'm very well on edge about it. You know, from what we've been hearing about this movie, it really seems like it's going to be a mixed bag. You know, some scenes are going to be superb and amazing, some scenes are going to be just lackluster. And with this ending focusing on only a new character, it really makes you wonder where the future of the Indy franchise is going. So overall, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.